UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English. Question 11. The instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, if the jury's verdict is not guilty, the defendant will be option A, acquitted, option B, indicted, option C, pardoned, option D, forgiven. Now, these words may sound similar, and so let's go over the meaning of each word and then choose the correct answer. Option D, forgiven, means to stop feeling angry or resentful towards someone for an offense, flaw, or a mistake. Pardoned is the past tense of pardon, which means an acceptance of an excuse for or to grant a release from punishment for a crime someone has actually committed. Indicted is the past tense of indict, and it is to accuse formally of a crime. So if you are indicted, it means you have been formally accused of a particular crime, and that doesn't necessarily make you guilty or not guilty. And acquitted, a verb, is the past tense of acquit, which means to be free from a criminal charge by a verdict of not guilty. And so the correct answer to this question is option A, acquitted. Here is the note. This sort of questions fall under the lexics and structure section. Speed and accuracy are very essential on the lexics and structure. And you also have to take note of the instruction given to you while attempting such questions. As useful as it is to quickly and efficiently answer these questions, you also have to spend some time to understand the instructions before actually attempting to answer these questions in order to answer them accurately. Because it wouldn't matter how fast you answer the question, if you got the instructions all jumbled up, your answers will be incorrect anyway. So do spend time to actually read the instruction carefully, understand them, and then go in to answer these questions. Also, this is another part of English language where understanding of words will come in handy, and then general structure and grammar will also be essential. So you can spend time reading up on lexics and structure and trying out as many practice sets as you can. As useful as speed is, sometimes you have to take your time to look at the options and don't just go with the options that seem most correct to you at first glance. Take your time, sometimes try it out by actually including the options into the sentence. Like in this case, you could go with the defendant will be acquitted, the defendant will be indicted, the defendant will be pardoned, and the defendant will be forgiven. Now, this is a very good example where all the options actually do match the statements, and the way you could actually get which of them is correct is to know the meaning of these words. So therefore, meaning of words, general formation of grammar, general structure of the grammar are good cues to use while attempting questions on the lexics and structures. Some of the questions that will follow will be similar, and so just use the same note as we've presented here to attempt them. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 12. The instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, when all the items on the agenda had been discussed, the meeting was dashed. Option A, adjourned. Option B, dismissed. Option C, postponed. Option D, dissolved. Let's look at the definition of some of the options for suitable choices. Now, adjourn is a verb and it is the past tense of adjourn, which means to break off, put off, or postpone a meeting, legal case, or game with the intention to continue it later. Dismiss is to put to an end or not take seriously or terminate. So if someone gets dismissed from his or her job, she has been fired, or his contract has been terminated. And so dismiss is not appropriate. To postpone is to delay an event and plan or decide that it should happen at a later date or time. But in the case of this meeting, it has actually held and they had exhausted all they had on their agenda, so postpone is not the appropriate option. Finally, dissolve is to end an official organization or a legal arrangement. So you can dissolve a marriage, you can dissolve a committee of the organizations. Therefore, dissolve also fails to meet our criteria. Now, the correct answer to this question is option A, adjourned. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 13. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. The sentence is, because the new venture was dash, many businessmen and women went into it. Option A, rich. Option B, manageable. Option C, lucrative. Option D, satisfying. Now, the correct answer to this question is option C, lucrative. Lucrative is an adjective that means producing a great deal of profit. These sorts of questions fall under the category of lexicon structure, and so you should read up on lexicon structure in order to get a better understanding of how to fill in the blank spaces and make appropriate sentences in order to earn the maximum points you can have for questions that fall under this category. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 14. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. The sentence is, we save a dash of lions at the game reserve. Option A, pride. Option B, family. Option C, band. Option D, group. Now the correct option is option A, pride. A group of lions forming a social unit is known as a pride. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 15. The instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, many educationists feel that dash punishment should still be retained in schools. Option A, capital. Option B, corporal. Option C, corporate. Option D, physical. Now, capital punishment is the legal authorized killing of someone as punishment for a crime. So that's really an extreme case to have someone put to death because they committed an offense in school, and so obviously option A is a correct answer. Corporal punishment is any physical punishment such as caning or flogging, and corporate refers to being formed into an association and endowed by law with the rights and liabilities of an individual. So any such institutions and working rights associated with it is regarded as corporate. Finally, physical. And so physical is any punishment that could be administered physically. It could get to extreme cases such as torture, to flogging and all of that. And since it includes extreme cases, that also isn't a correct answer. So the correct answer to this question is option B, corporal. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 16. An instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, freedom of movement is a dash right of every citizen. Option A, fundamental. Option B, negotiated. Option C, privileged. Option D, respected. The correct answer to this question is option A, fundamental. Fundamental is an adjective and it means forming a necessary base or necessity. The right of movement for every citizen is a basic necessity, and so fundamental passes here. Negotiated would mean that an individual will actually have to go into some deliberation in order to come to a point where he is permitted or allowed to move, which isn't accurate. Privilege would mean it isn't a basic necessity and it is only a special right or advantage some individuals might have, which is also inaccurate. Just the same goes for respected. And so option A, fundamental, remains the valid option. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 17. From the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. The sentence is, the river dashed towards the sea. Option A, meandered. Option B, rolled. Option C, ran. Option C, ran. Option D, trickled. The correct answer to this question is option A, meandered. Meandered is a verb and it means to follow a winding course. Typically, rivers meander, especially when they break into their different tributaries as they flow towards the sea. Option B, which is rolled, is to make a liquid more turbid or muddy by disturbing its sediments. And ran, of course, although stream of water flows and sometimes you can't say running water like that comes from the tap, you cannot say a river is actually running towards the sea. And trickled usually refers to liquid flowing in small quantity or a stream. You could have sweat trickling down your cheeks, but a river, as we said earlier, once it is flowing towards the sea, seldom ever trickles. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 18. The instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, I dash that our team will win the match tomorrow. Option A, certify. Option B, conclude. Option C, announce. Option D, predict. The word that best completes the sentence is option D, predict. And predict is a verb and it is to say or estimate an outcome. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 19. The instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, if found guilty, he will dash all the wealth he has amassed illegally. Option A, forgo. Option B, abandon. Option C, repay. Option D, forfeit. Now, the correct answer to this question is option D, forfeit. And forfeit is a verb. It is to lose or be deprived of property, right, or privilege as a penalty for wrongdoing. Option A, which is forgo, might be argued that could be appropriate, but it is not, because forgo is to refrain from or go without something, usually desirably. And clearly in the sentence, if the person is found to be guilty, his wealth will be taken. He's not actually foregoing because he is repentant of his ways, but he has been found guilty and so he has to forfeit whatever wealth he had amassed illegally. Abandon obviously doesn't cut it because that's also usually an individual's decision to abandon a property or an individual. And since this isn't a case of abandonment, option B also is not appropriate. And C, repay. And option C, repay, isn't a good fit. He will repay all the wealth he has amassed illegally. Usually there aren't clear ways one can actually get to repay for wealth amassed illegally. And so what usually happens is that these properties are seized and sometimes auctioned, which in most cases isn't equivalent to the value as when it was acquired illegally. And so option D, forfeit, is our appropriate and correct answer. UNILAG post UTME 2014, use of English, question 20. Instruction is, from the words lettered A to D, choose the word that best completes the following sentence. And the sentence is, at a dash of 200 kilometers an hour, the hurricane swept away everything in its path. Option A, movement. Option B, flow. Option C, velocity. Option D, drive. Now, the correct answer to this question is option C, velocity. Velocity is a noun, and it is the speed of something in a given direction. To be more accurate, velocity is the rate at which an object changes its position. Option A, which is movement, is an act of moving. Option B is flow, and flow pertains to steady continuous movement, usually regarding liquid, gas, or electricity, and so isn't appropriate. And drive just doesn't work with this sentence because drive will or usually pertains to mechanical equipment or some sort of potential force, like for instance the drive to study in order to pass your examination. And so the appropriate thing here to use is velocity.